To the next question, if you go to the next page, because you brought up Mr. Mix, and I feel like when we talk about, well, when other people talk about Two Live Crew, that's the person you hear the least about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's
Y'all
Mr.
don't mind,
Mix.
do y'all?
Nah, go ahead. That's why it's there. But it was Mr. Mix that was behind, Dance All Night.
Dance All Night.
Pop that pussy.
I say Mr. Mix was the producer of everything on Luke Records at that time.
Yeah.
You know, back then from the One Love, Anchor, Two Live Crew, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, he was doing that. That man was a studio rat. He stayed in there.
Yeah. So how was that process? I mean, because you would have grew up like we all did, Two Live Crew fans.
Right.
So I know in some way it was like, damn, I'm rocking with, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what that process was like, just being in the studio with Mr. Mix, who was behind all that?
Well, we came in ready to go. So like before we even went in, we would talk on the phone, bust lyrics on the phone over this beat. What you got for this beat? You know, we'd talk about the concept. So when we came in, we were just knocking them down, you know. But we would come in late, like I guess after everybody else was done working.
Yeah.
Mix had us graveyard shift, you know, getting this project together. Yeah, but I mean, shit, I learned how to record. We wasn't recording nothing before then.
Yeah.
You know.
So he gave you a little studio game in that process.
A lot of studio game. I seen the way records was actually made, you know, the time it take, you know. And back then there wasn't no Pro Tools, click no button, we on them tapes. You know.
Yeah. ADAT. Was it ADAT yet or not?
2-inch reels.
Just
We on reels. Yeah. ADAT wasn't invented yet. You know what I'm saying? This, this prior to everything. Yeah. Listen, man, our first record came out, we got cassette tapes, man. CDs wasn't made yet.
Hell yeah.
You know
that was 90.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the way you did it in studio time wasn't, $20, $30, $40.
Hell no.
You had to spend that money, you know. Even the tape, just buying one tape was $200. And then you probably put 3 songs max on it.
Shit.
So you gotta buy, if you got 10 songs, you at least need 3 of them, or some shit like that.
That's why you didn't have 2 million rappers running around at that time either.
Right.
Cause that shit wasn't cheap. You couldn't do that on your laptop. There wasn't no laptop.
Yeah, none of this was done.
So let me ask you this. Y'all dropped in 90. Y'all still in high school.
Yes, sir.
Talk about that experience, man. Like, and I'm going back to this picture on the back, cause that was like the youngest picture I could find of you.
Yeah, that's it. That was one of the first pictures.
What's on JT mind on that picture right there? You got look like you got the polo on. I see the rope.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what's on JT mind right there in that picture?
I don't know. I was probably looking forward to doing it. I was finna give it to him, cause like when we was doing this project, I call the first album still. I call that Dib and Hobbs album. I think I came in and filled in the blanks, cause I was out, running the yard, moving and shaking.
Yeah.
But so I would come in and they'll have something up and I just do my part, but they put it together. So when I look at this guy here, I'm just thinking about all the foolishness, all the well, I ain't gonna, ambitious. The dude was ambitious.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I can see that.
The dude was ambitious.
I can see that. I see some ambition.
Yeah, he wanted something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, how he went about it, hey, y'all. He was just with it.
Yeah. Hey, so talk about like that, y'all in high school, y'all dropped No Like Mothers.
Yeah.
But talk about like the rap scene at that time, because it was primarily bass.
Yeah.
So we had the DJ, Vicious Funk and Pure Funk and, you know what I'm saying, Sugar Hill. We're going to talk about Al a little later on, but like, talk about that, like the DJ squads, the other artists that was in motion in 1990.
In 90, of course, Two Live Crew. You know what I'm saying? We used to jam Shadi, New York from Atlanta, though. I mean, whatever, vice versa. Young and Restless was out then, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Boys and Ivy. See, all of them was prior to us, because, you had everybody who had records. You take Clay D and all them, and Raheem, and you know, all them dudes, you know, we were jamming that. That was just that bass music, you know. With us though, like, I was kind of, you know, I went to New Orleans, man. A bunch of New York niggas and dreads. New York and Jamaicans, man. You know what I'm
Straight
saying?
up. That was definitely,
you know what I'm saying? New York niggas and Jamaicans, you know what I'm saying? So I was getting a lot of the hip hop, man. Niggas be coming down, they bring them tapes, and I used to be listening, you know what I'm saying? I liked that little vibe, you know? And so that's kind of what led my lyrics to go more lyrical, you know, constant something to say. You know, like I heard it. And you know, music before Two Little Like Mothers, like everybody was, I ain't gonna say play, like Kiki, you know what I'm saying, more fun, it was a party, and it was light, right? You know, we had to come with that, you know, like, I really felt like we was standing up for the crib. Like, after going around, this album here, we knew what we was doing. We was just being different. Me and Dale, remember, we was going to these different open mics or whatever. They weren't open mic, but gong shows back then. We get in there, you know, we thought we was the flyest niggas in the room. We was the hardest niggas. Like, who wanted, you know? Who wanted to touch the mic after us? You know, they didn't want to do it. So by the time this album came out and we went around the country with Too Loud, Man USA, I was like, oh, y'all like that? Well, where you get a little, see, now I'm ready now, because I done went out there and tasted it, you know, test drove it and like, oh shit, this is this. And then it just so happened me and Dale split right after the shit was getting good, you know. You know, he wanted to go do home team with his brother. And shit, I just went back to Luton and they was like, well, what you gonna do? I said, well, give me this and do that, and he did it. And I just went in, boom. And I went in with Mike Fresh then, you know. Mike Fresh was a Shy-D DJ / producer of some of the tracks. And shoot, me and Mike went to work. Mike had already had some beats, you know, and then I would tell him my rhymes and say that again, play it on this one. And that Port of Mentality came out. But see, when I got the Port of Mentality, that was me now, because it's, you know, Trick called that my first solo album. Trick like, nah, that was your first solo album. I ain't thought of it that way, but you know, because we were marketing Poison Clan the name.
Still the brand.
Right. You know, so, you know, I wrote that as long as we could. So everybody disbanded. And then shit, gotta go now.
I'm still on Low Life, right? Let me just jump straight to I Hate Hoes, because we know like we know like in Miami, you go to any jam in Miami, it's men and women, probably like 2-3 generations singing that shit word for word, right? What inspired that, bro? Where that came from? Beside the obvious, you know what I'm saying? Where that came from?
That was me, man. You know, I was fucking around with a lot of bitches, you know what I'm saying? When they don't show up when I need them, so I hated them bitches. I'm kind of like, you know, oh, you wait for me. I lie to you, but don't you lie to me. That shit like, go ahead, like, bitch. Fuck you mean, you know? Man, I hate them hoes, man. And funny thing, though, Dale and Mike, they were like, well, that's a record. Because I always said that. But, you know, again, I was ripping and running. But then when I was like, hey, I'm ready, bitch not ready, like, bitch, what's wrong with you? Man. And then, you know, niggas, you know, and I seen the way they was doing, like, I knew gangsters, you know, like, niggas that was respected. And then when it come to this bitch, he was babyface. So I'm like, nigga. Oh, speaking of babyface invented the bitchizer. When they had the whip appeal and all that appeal, I was like, man, I got me fucked up. I always used to be in Tuckers, nigga. See, y'all know Tuckers.
You know about Tuckers, man.
I'm always being say, whip appeal, I pay you. You know what I'm saying? You got, like, nah.
As soon as I go home from work,
I'm gonna do all this. After I get home from work, I'm gonna do this too. Nah, man, they were trying to reverse psychology on the nigga. They were trying to take the man out the man. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to take another rib. They try to get another rib. She ain't happy for the one she got.
Ribless.